champion of the one fall. Introducing first.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our main event. Tables, ladders and chairs for the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, and some might argue a TLC grudge match. Finally, a one-on-one opportunity for the challenger, but the champion has demanded that he arrive first here in Thatcham. And of course, this music can only signal one sound, the arrival of the kingdom's illustrious leader and the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion himself. It's been a rough time for the kingdom here on British Kingdom On Demand in Thatcham, with of course Prince Phoenix losing the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Brian Kendrick, can the reigning champion defend his territory, or is lightning gonna strike twice in Thatcham? Chris Bronson paying attention very closely, as no doubt you have. Suspended high above the ring is the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, and Prince Phoenix obviously making amends with Nadia Sapphire, and it looks like Chris Bronson, our heavyweight champion, is going to do it by himself. No help for the kid. I find that hard to believe, if I'm being honest. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, tables, ladders and chairs. Ain't no tender loving care here. This is not going to be for the faint of heart. Chris Bronson, one-on-one with his illustrious challenger, a man who unfortunately was robbed, in many people's estimation, of the championship back in Swindon. Of course, for those of you watching on British Kingdom On Demand or on the British Kingdom Pro YouTube channel, you would have seen Chris Bronson successfully retained in that fatal four-way TLC matchup. It was daylight robbery that night in Swindon, with the admission of Tiger Ali joining the kingdom to make up the horrifying quartet that is the kingdom as we know them right now. Chris Bronson is going to have to defend the gold in a one-on-one matchup this time out.
Shut your mouth, Thatcham. This is what I want from you. Every single, especially you little punk. Shut up.
Now introducing
Well, Chris Bronson has plenty to say, and ultimately he is going to have to do things the hard way. He may have proven himself already in a TLC matchup. Fair play, no disqualifications, absolutely no rules other than to climb the ladder and retrieve the gold above the ring. But it took an entire quartet of the kingdom to derail this young man's opportunity at the gold. But this time out, it's one-on-one, with Chris Bronson facing the silverback, Saime Sahin. Saime Sahin absolutely raring to go. Brit King Pro Wrestling Management saw fit to afford him a singles opportunity, and he wanted to up the ante. He said, no, let's do it one more time. TLC. This is a car crash of a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Is Saime Sahin going to be able to overcome Chris Bronson this time out? For now, it looks like it will be one-on-one. Obviously, Saime Sahin, one of the most popular men in professional wrestling history. There's an energy that is palpable whenever Saime enters a professional wrestling arena, and the energy certainly is palpable this evening. It is time for the announcements, as both of these men are about to vie over that championship gold suspended above the ring.
One fall. It will be the first person to climb the ladder and retrieve the British Kingdom Pro Heavyweight Championship belt. Introducing first, on my right, he to my right, the current British Kingdom Pro Heavyweight Champion, the Stallion, Chris Bronson.
You love me! You love me! Especially you, little blondie. Mwah. See? I know.
To my left, the challenger is the silverback, Saime Sahin.
Well, that's the announcements done, ladies and gentlemen. There is only one thing left to do, and that is to go to war for the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. The silverback Saime Sahin challenges the ever-present champion, that man right there, the Stallion, Chris Bronson. In many people's estimation, the most well-rounded professional wrestler in the world today is the Stal. Can he do it one-on-one? Can he knock off Saime Sahin? Or is Saime Sahin finally going to get what is coming to him, that coveted British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship? Chris Bronson and the silverback to just drink it in, to live in the moment a little bit more. Saime Sahin, trust me, is living in the moment. And right-handed, here we go. Two of the biggest beast slabs in professional wrestling going to war. And it looks like Chris Bronson back it up from Saime Sahin, the absolute African juggernaut of professional wrestling. That's right, I'd be running too after all the nonsense and all the shenanigans, all the hatred that the kingdom has spilt at the expense of Saime Sahin. And Saime Sahin is absolutely ready to go to war. Look at the Fortnite action knocking at your door from Saime Sahin as he's just pounding away on the champion. Looking to, he's caught Chris Bronson in the corner and he's not enough to fight. Didn't go low, believe it or not. It would have mattered. What a suplex by Saime Sahin. Raw power from this silverback. Saime Sahin in absolutely whopper condition and truly the definition of a horse as he goes flying over the top rope and wipes out Chris Bronson. Beautiful athleticism for a man of his size, over 300 pounds of pure beef, ladies and gentlemen. The silverback is ready to go. Chris Bronson already looking worse for wear, and of course, TLC match, no rules whatsoever. The only way to win is to ascend the ladder and retrieve the gold hanging above the ring. And that means these guys can literally fight wherever they please. They can take this all the way into Thatcham if they please. And Chris Bronson, I do believe, is looking to... it looks like Chris Bronson has retrieved the steel chair. Now Saime Sahin has gone around the other side thinking he can get hold of Chris Bronson and takes a steel chair right to the skull. No protection, no nothing. Well, that is going to certainly leave a mark, as if the kingdom hasn't left enough marks on Saime Sahin in all of this time. And man, absolutely tattooed that steel chair across the head. And now Saime Sahin sent shoulder first into the ring post. Chris Bronson, as always, feeling extremely confident. I guess if I look that good, and if I was that good a champion, I certainly would be confident too. But frankly, some of the methods beg a belief, and quite literally trying to put Saime Sahin in the bin. Saime Sahin, of course, as I mentioned, British Kingdom Wrestling Management felt that Saime Sahin was owed this opportunity after the daylight robbery and the behaviour of the kingdom back in Swindon. Now Saime Sahin looking to dismantle Chris Bronson. And let's be honest, in a one-on-one fight, I don't think Chris Bronson wants to stand up and strike with someone the size of Saime Sahin. A knife-edged chop that will leave a mark long into Christmas. Bad blood has just been building and building. And frankly, there has been a lot of comments made that I can't repeat, ladies and gentlemen. It's meant to be a family-friendly channel after all. And Chris Bronson and Saime Sahin have turned the air blue in their remarks of each other in the build-up to this matchup. Nasty knife-edge chop once again. And the Stallion, Chris Bronson, happy to tee off as much as possible. So we've seen now the European uppercut, and this is just going to be a barroom brawl. You're not going to get a technical classic here, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who are World of Sport purists may want to look away now. Look out, springboard drop kick sends Saime Sahin to the outside. Stunning athleticism for a man his size. Speaking of which, up and over. Oh my God, that's how he moonsault. coming right off of the corner. Outrageous athleticism from Chris Bronson. And whether you like it or not, there's a very good reason why he is the champion, why he is just that damn good. Unfortunately, it's the methods that certainly don't measure up to the quality of the wrestler. Chris Bronson just berating Saime Sahin, berating this audience here in Thatcham. Looking to work Sammy over once again and dragging it into the audience is Chris Bronson, and a stiff forearm shot shivering down the spine of Saime Sahin. Chris Bronson taking his eye off the ball for a moment there, and Saime Sahin waylaying back with those big old hand hooks. He pulls right hands, baby. Arms the size of absolute juggernauts. A humongous man is Saime Sahin. Certainly not lacking on the protein count. It's big Saime Sahin, and oh my lord. Nothing needed there really. Simply a slap right across one of Bronson's moneymakers. This is just break it down now into an all-out brawl, ladies and gentlemen. And TLC, like I said, needs absolutely no rules. And this young audience, very brave, get in front of two people of this size, much less two athletes, two gladiators of this proportion. And Saime Sahin just absolutely not holding back on any of these strikes. Saime Sahin is going to powerbomb Chris Bronson on the outside, and oh my god, if he does that, I don't think Chris Bronson's going to be getting up for a month. But Sunday's back body drop to the hardwood floor, and there's a steel chair there as well, and by coincidence he just happened to crash on it. And there's always method to the kingdom's madness, and Saime Sahin splattered across the floor like a disregarded pancake. A bad position for Sammy to be in, and Chris Bronson is now looking to retrieve some more furniture perhaps, and oh boy, well, it's TLC, and there's only one item that is absolutely necessary if you want to retrieve the gold, and it is of course a ladder. Chris Bronson saying it's home time already, retrieving the ladder, and Saime Sahin with a shotgun drop kick just blasts that ladder into the sternum of Chris Bronson. Nowhere to go but to the floor. Could have broken a rib, could have broken the man's sternum, as I mentioned. Chris Bronson just wiped out by that drop kick. Over 300 pounds, like a cruise missile, shooting into that ladder, and now Saime Sahin has decided it may be time to climb the ladder and end this game. And if he can indeed do so, he'll be the new British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Chris Bronson, looking a little wet square on the outside, has retrieved a steel chair. Bronson better get a move on, and he does so, cutting off Saime Sahin at the pass right before he can reach for the gold. Oh my god, Saime Sahin's body went splat against the ladder. Look at that humongous back suplex. Raw power from the stallion, Chris Bronson. Saime Sahin clearly in a lot of pain, you can hear it. You know, Chris Bronson, I'll tell you what, I am impressed. The champion has come to play here tonight. Singles action. He certainly hasn't needed a kingdom, at least thus far. Chris Bronson has handled his business very nicely, albeit in a rather emphatic and arrogant fashion. And now Saime Sahin is being placed headfirst on that steel chair. I dread to think is what Chris Bronson's going to do. Oh my god! Drop toe hold right into the steel chair. Chris Bronson face first right off of that chair. Saime Sahin, it actually stuns me just how agile and athletic he is, even as a highly trained professional wrestler in his own right. Saime Sahin is every bit a world-class athlete. Saime Sahin heading to the outside, looking to retrieve potentially more furniture. Speaking of furniture, I think it's time to set the table. The crowd have been vying for it. They've been baying for blood. And now they're going to get an opportunity to see some wood. Well, Saime Sahin making it very clear. Certainly feeding himself right now. Absolutely buzzing. It looks like he's going to retrieve a second table. Oh boy. That's TLC. You can do as you please. You're not even restricted to tables, ladders and chairs. But ultimately, would you need anything else in a matchup of this magnitude? And Saime Sahin now looking to set up a table inside the ring here. There it goes. Our table has been set. Sami just crashing down on Chris Bronson. And Bronson's had absolutely nowhere to go in these latter exchanges. Saime Sahin taking his sweet time preparing these tables. Obviously a lot of method to the madness. Pretty obvious what's going to be going on here. Obviously setting up Chris Bronson for a spectacular crash. Saime Sahin now looking to just, oh my god, just launches up Chris Bronson like he was nothing. And I think he's looking to powerbomb the man. And beautiful athleticism. Credit to the guy. Chris Bronson with a Hurricane Runner takes both of them crashing over the top rope. A nasty landing, but ultimately Bronson saw fit to take this to the outside. Arguably a far better landing in his estimation than going all the way through a table courtesy of a powerbomb from Saime Sahin. Bronson looking a little bit more frantic, a little bit more urgent. Crawling around ringside. Saime Sahin also crawling around. Both men trying to find the wherewithal, maybe to retrieve more weapons or maybe just to get enough equilibrium to get back into the ring. Ultimately, all of this carnage, it will be for nothing for one of these men if they can't climb the ladder. The steel chair, oh my god, across the skull. And Saime Sahin just absorbed it into the midsection. Oh, look, oh my god, Jesus Christ. A steel chair across an unprotected skull, and the stallion may very well have the mother of all concussions after that. That was a disgusting steel chair shot. You see the eyes glazed over. Chris Bronson in bad shape after receiving a steel chair across the cranium. Oh man, all he did was infuriate the silverback. Saime Sahin was able to absorb a steel chair shot to the head and delivered a tenfold thunderous shot to the skull of Chris Bronson. And that right there shows you what it means to be British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. Saime Sahin, one of the ultimate good guys of pro wrestling, is willing to murder Chris Bronson for the opportunity. Bronson escapes beautiful DDT. Somehow, I believe it was on the steel chair as well. As I mentioned, the fact that these men are willing to quite literally try and kill each other just for the glory of the gold speaks volumes about the prestige behind the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. The richest prize in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, of course, we will be returning to Thatcham very soon. There is a number of very impressive dates on tap here, and what in God's name is Chris Stallion doing now? And looking to place Saime Sahin on that table, which ironically was set up by Saime Sahin.
Hey, what happens to Sammy now, huh?
Oh boy.
Hey, it's your boy.
Oh, Chris Bronson just mocking Saime Sahin, berating him in front of this audience. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, on the 20th of December, we will be back at Tennis School in Thatcham. If you want to join us live in person, oh my God! Well, the bottom fell out, and Chris Bronson was shoved off the ladder by Saime Sahin. Nothing but crash and burn here. The car crash continues, and oh wow! Fine Buster delivered beautifully by the Stallion, who seems to have an answer every single time Saime Sahin comes crashing at his door. I got to give Chris Bronson all the credit in the world. As I was mentioning, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the 20th of December. Who will be the champion when we return to Thatcham, however? Is it going to be Chris Bronson, or is it going to be Saime Sahin? What in God's name is Chris Bronson doing now? High in the sky, he has ascended the ladder, and he's going to look to drop the ultimate elbow all the way to hell on the chest of Saime Sahin. Brutal and yet so beautiful in its offensive nature. Chris Bronson coming from about 9 or 10 feet in the sky and drilling an elbow right into the sternum, right into the chest of Saime Sahin, trying to drain the life from the silverback. And now Chris Bronson has retrieved the other table that was brought into this matchup by Saime Sahin.
Sammy, get in!
Bronson berating this audience once again, setting up a table. God knows what is going through the mind of Chris Bronson. Saime Sahin barely responsive at this point. Frankly, running on fumes, maybe running on adrenaline, has no clue what may very well be in his nature. And just wrenching at the neck and the head of Saime Sahin now. Saime Sahin being dragged to the corner. There's no need for that. I understand, obviously, Chris Bronson. I mean, there's been a lot of bad blood, and, well, you could argue that's probably the lightest thing that he said all week in the build-up to this TLC matchup. But Chris Bronson is looking to put the sizable mass of Saime Sahin through the table, and this is a very bad position to be in if you are the silverback. A knife-edge chop right across the chest, tearing at the flesh of Saime Sahin as Chris Bronson has him perched on the second rope, and no doubt will be looking to deliver the mother of all superplexes and put Saime Sahin through a table. And surely at that point it will be academic and Bronson will climb the ladder, and Saime Sahin knows that just as well as anyone else, able to headbutt his way out of trouble. But now Saime, look at, oh my god, received a steel chair. He just threw it at him, Sabu-esque, right in the face of Saime Sahin. Another vicious steel chair shot to the head. Oh wow, look at the athleticism, springboarding up to the top rope. Oh, look out, he got caught. Oh my god, Chris Bronson drilled through the table. Good God almighty. Broken clean in half is that table, courtesy of the body of Chris Bronson. It is like witnessing a car crash, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to look, but you just cannot look away at this point. British Kingdom On Demand getting its pan of flesh tonight here in Thatcham in our main event. That's what it means to be the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. That's how desperately Saime Sahin needs to be champion, to bring the gold back to what he believes is the people. He believes that by being champion, he can dethrone the kingdom entirely and bring prestige and honor back to the gold. You can see the remnants of this absolute crash all over the ring here. And now Saime looking to climb the ladder and finally retrieve what he believes to be his beloved British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Chris Bronson is not moving, ladies and gentlemen. Saime Sahin is just maybe 1 or 2 feet away from recognizing his ultimate goal. Fingertips brushing the goal. Just one more step. Oh, come on. Yeah, I just knew eventually. Tiger Ali, just like he did last time, looking to cost Saime Sahin, but Saime Sahin able to move out of the way, and a discus lariat wipes him out. And this time out, Saime Sahin was wary of Tiger Ali. He was wary of what was going to happen. He knew at some point the kingdom were going to get involved. The ultimate insurance policy has just been wiped out. The Iranian assassin taken for a ride. And now Saime Sahin can hopefully climb the ladder and retrieve the gold. He's almost there. Slowly but surely ascending to greatness. What the hell is it? Wait a minute. Oh, come on. Now it's Prince Phoenix, and you just knew the kingdom was going to offload every single bit that they had to try and ensure that Chris Bronson retained. Prince Phoenix, who obviously is probably not the kingdom's most popular man right now after losing the Junior Heavyweight Championship earlier on in faction to Brian Kendrick, and Saime Sahin somehow still fighting away, overcoming the odds, and Prince Phoenix now hung up and hung out to dry. And all Saime Sahin has to do is suck in the air just for one glorious moment. Reach out and touch the skies and claim the British Kingdom Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. You're right there. There's just nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Chris Bronson with a steel chair across the spine. And just when you think Saime Sahin has his moment in the sun, it gets snatched from him by the kingdom, and predominantly, of course, the champion himself, Chris Bronson, who has a steel chair in hand. And how fitting that these two men should meet each other at the summit. Oh boy, Saime Sahin putting the brakes on Chris Bronson, oh man, Chris Bronson just shoving that chair off of the skull. Oh my God, a third shot across the head, and Saime Sahin crashes through the table. Bad landing, bad position to be in, and Chris Bronson, against all the odds, has retained the heavyweight championship of British Kingdom Pro. The kingdom remains absolute in its control of British Kingdom Pro Wrestling. There you see 4 of the baddest, most talented, and yet arguably most infuriating professional wrestling icons in the world today. Chris Bronson's insurance policies have paid dividends tonight, and ultimately it's a damn shame that once again it's Saime Sahin who suffers at the hands of Prince Phoenix, Tiger Ali, Nadia Sapphire, and Chris Bronson himself. Chris Bronson knows he's been in a war, he knows he's been in a car crash, a sly look on his face, and Tiger Ali and Prince Phoenix certainly earned their money here tonight. I don't know how much you're getting paid, but it's no doubt probably worth it in their estimation. Ultimately, those who hold the gold hold all the control here in British Kingdom Pro Wrestling. And despite a massive hiccup on the road to success tonight for Chris Bronson in Prince Phoenix losing the Junior Heavyweight Championship, Chris Bronson retains the all-important Heavyweight Championship. And the question must be asked, who can stop this absolute reign of terror effected by the Kingdom's Chris Bronson? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on British Kingdom On Demand.